This is Algebra 1A, Lesson 1-5. And let me just tell you that in the notes, you're going to see pieces that tell you the assignment. You need to ignore that. You can scratch them out on each lesson. We won't be doing that assignment, but we will have an assignment on backpacks. So let's look at the objectives. Solve equations with one variable. The vocabulary: sentence, a mathematical statement with one or more variables. Equation, a mathematical sentence that contains an equals sign. Solving an open sentence, finding the replacement value for the variable that results in a true sentence or an ordered pair when substituted into the equation. Solution, a replacement value for a variable in an open sentence. Element, each entry in a set. And remember, with a set, we are going to use braces. And this is located on your keyboard when you're typing this out, right above the Enter button. You will need to select Shift and the buttons above the Enter button. Solution set, the set of elements from the replacement set that makes an open sentence true. In other words, what answer did you find that was the solution? Identity, an equation that is true for every value of the variable. It means no matter what value we put in for the variable, it would make it true. Now let's look at example 1. The directions say, find the solution of each equation if the replacement sets are, if we're looking for A, we're going to see which solution from the replacement set 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be our answer. And then on B, we will be using the replacement set 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So basically what you have to do is substitute values in for the variable and see which one would make it a true statement. So let's look at example 1. Let's say we try the element 4. So what you're going to do is substitute for A the value of 4. And see, does this make a true statement? 20 minus 9. 20 minus 9 is 11, and we know that 11 doesn't equal 26. This number was not large enough, so we're going to have to try something larger. Let's try 7. So substitute 7 in for your variable. So 5 times 7 minus 9, does it equal 26? 5 times 7 is 35. 35 minus 9 is 26. Our answer that we are going to put in our solution set is not 26, but the value that we substituted. So your final answer in braces is 7. Now let's look at letter B. We need to either substitute 9, 10, 11, 12, or 13. If we try 9, we have 3 times 9 plus 15 equals 48. 3 times 9 is 27. 27 plus 15, is it 48? It is 52. So that's not going to work. Let's try the number 11. Three times 11 plus 15, is that 48? Actually, This should say 42. 42 is not equal to 48. I knew that didn't look right. Trying to figure it out. Got it wrong in my notes here. So let's look at 11. 3 times 11 is 33. And we have 33 minus 15. If you put this in your calculator, it is 48. So what value did we substitute from our replacement set? Our solution set that worked was the number 11. Now let's look at letter C. Again, we've gone back to A, so we can try 4, 5, 6, 7. I've been starting out with 4. Let's try 5 on this one. So substitute 5 and see what you get. 7 times 5 is 35. And if you simplify, you have 56 equals 56. So from our replacement set of values, the value that we substituted that worked was 5. Remember to use your braces. You're going to have to do this whenever you have the assignment. Now let's look at letter D. Let's try a value from the replacement set for letter B. If I try 9, and I'm going to want to try numbers that easily divide into 36. So 36 divided by 9 minus 3. Is it 0? 36 divided by 9 is 4. So that's not going to work because 1 is not equal to 0. Now we know 10 could not divide evenly into 36. Neither could 11. So let's try another one. Let's try 12. 36 divided by 12 minus 3. Is that equal to 0? If you have 36 and you divide it into 12 parts, it is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 equals 0. So what worked? We are not going to put in 0. We have to find the value that we replaced B with, and it was 12. So on this one, your answer for the solution set is 12. Next, we're going to go on to solve your equations. Your calculator might come in handy for this part. Example 2a, we have 10.4 minus 6.8. We've seen this type of expression before, but now we've turned it into an equation with an equal sign and a variable. So when you get done, your answer will have your variable in it, equals x. Subtract these two, and you have 3.6 equals x. And you might be the type of person that always likes to have the variable first. It will not matter if you turn it around. Either answer is correct. Now let's look at letter B. We have 3 things going on in this equation. If you look at the numerator, we have subtraction. Denominator has addition. And since it's a fraction, this is division. 3 plus 20, addition and then division. So in order to remember what to do first, I suggest putting grouping symbols around your numerator, grouping symbols around your denominator. That way you will know that your grouping symbols need to be done first. So 46 minus 15 is 31. And 3 plus 28 is 31. This equals A. Is this simplified? You should know that the number divided by itself is 1. So you can have 1 equals A or A equals 1. Now let's look at letter C. Again, we have a fraction, so I'm going to add some grouping symbols, and you need to know to do each of these and then divide. So if I'm looking at my numerator, I have multiplication and I have subtraction. If I'm simplifying this, my first step would be to simplify the grouping symbols. 22 minus 4, which is 18. And you can continue with the numerator if you want, or you can go to the denominator and start simplifying that. If I do that, I'm going to have multiplication first and then addition. 3 times 6 is 18. Now I'm going to continue simplifying. 4 times 18 is 72. And 18 plus 6 is 24. Is this simplified? Put it into your calculator and you can see that it's not. So our final answer, when you simplify this, 24 goes into 72, or 72 divided by 24 is 3. So you can have y equals 3, or you can have 3 equals y. Now let's look at letter D. We need to simplify the numerator as a group and then simplify the denominator. This one's going to be a little bit longer. So we need to do our exponents first. 5 times 4 plus 4 times 3. And like I said earlier, you can continue simplifying the numerator or you can go to the denominator. I'm going to do it the other way this time and continue simplifying the numerator. 5 times 4 is 20. And 4 times 3 is 12. And then if I keep going, 20 plus 12 is 32. Now I'm going to do the denominator. 4. 2 cubed is 8. Finish up your parentheses and you have 4 times 4, which is 16. So we have 32 divided by 16. Is this simplified? It is not. So when we simplify it, we have 2 equals P or P equals 2. Now let's try letter E. A lot going on here. Notice that your variable is on both sides of our equation. What we need to do is simplify the left, simplify the right, and then decide what is going on. Is it a true statement or is it a false statement? So let's go ahead and simplify. We start with our powers. 3 squared is 9. Minus 2 times 3 plus u. If I continue simplifying over here, my next step would be multiplication. So I have 9 minus 6 plus u. Continue simplifying. I can combine these terms and I have 3 plus u. We cannot combine 3 and u because they are not like terms. So the left side is simplified. Now let's look at the right side. 3 cubed minus 3 times 8 is in parentheses. And then we have it multiplied by 2 plus u. So let's start with our grouping symbols. We need to do the power first. 3 cubed is 27 minus 3 times 8. Bring down the rest of your equation. Now it would be easy right here to think to yourself, now I want to go left to right. I do subtraction and then multiplication, but you would be out of order. You actually need to multiply next. So you would have 27 minus 24, all of that multiplied by 2, and add u. Continue simplifying in your parentheses, and you have 3 times 2 plus u, and simplify one more time, we have 6 plus u. If I bring this down and compare them, are they the same? Since they are not the same, then we say there's no solution, which means there is not any number that we could put in for u that would make this a true statement. Now let's look at letter F. Again, you can see the variable k on both sides. We need to simplify both sides and then compare. So let's work inside of our parentheses first. 3 times 10 is 30. Bring down the rest of your expression. Now we're going to put in our equal sign. If you want, you can go ahead and simplify this completely before you start on the right side, or you can do the right side and then go back to the left side until you're completely done. I'm going to do this the other way, and I'm going to simplify over here. So I have 6k plus 22. This is simplified. I'm going to go back over here. Notice these weren't like terms, so we couldn't put those together. Bring down what 30 minus 8 is, 22. Bring down 6k plus 22. They are exactly the same. And when we talk about people looking exactly the same, we call them identical twins. That's how you can remember that these are identical to each other. And we say this is called identity. And by definition, they look the same on each side, meaning you could put any value in for k and it would make this a true statement. Now you are ready for the assignment that goes with lesson 1-5.